Hello everyone, welcome to Bhadrayas Academy. Today we are going to have the part 2 of the analysis of the Indian Economic Survey, the latest one. In the earlier video, we analyzed the economic survey and we looked at the multiple choice questions, that is question 1 to 25. In this part 2, we are going to look at questions 26 to 50. So we are going to look at some of the important questions, important topics जो prelims में आ सकते हैं. So let us begin with the questions straight away. Question number 26. Which of the following statements is or correct regarding the Global Innovation Index, that is the GII? Because the Prime Minister very much spoke about this index, that India's rank is increasing, etc. Therefore, it's an important thing to keep in mind. So which of the following statements are correct? India ranks 48 among 131 countries in terms of the innovation performance in 2020. India entered the top 50 innovating countries for the first time since the starting of this index in 2007. The GII is published by the World Economic Forum and this has two sub indices, means subparts. One is the innovation input sub-index, other one is innovation output sub-index. So which of the following is or correct? Basically the idea is that आपको ये पूरा डिटेल थोड़ा समझना है, इसलिए मैंने थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा इन्फॉर्मेशन डिटेल्स भी इसमें दिया हूँ. सिर्फ रैंकिंग समझने से एग्जाम में आंसर नहीं हो सकता है, कभी कभी यूपीएससी स्टैंडर्ड में डिटेल भी पूछते हैं. सो लेट अस लुक एट द आंसर फॉर दिस. So I have given some explanation for this index so that you have an idea. So the first statement that India ranks 48 is correct. Then the second statement also that India has entered the top 50 countries also is correct. Okay. Now the thing is that who is publishing this index? Okay, so that answer is wrong. So it is published by the Cornell University and the World Intellectual Property Organization WIPO, okay, which is very well-known institution. Now GII was actually first conceptualized and started in 2007. Since then, it has been regularly published and rankings are given to the countries. So the basic idea, the basic information that you should have. Therefore, मैंने क्या किया, एक extra slide इसमें about the global innovation index का detail इसमें दिया हूँ. So now if you see the answer, therefore option 1, 2 and 4 are correct because option number 3, who publishes the GII, is wrong. Therefore the answer will be option number C. Question number 28. India registered a trade surplus in the month of June 2020 after a gap of how many years? So this is a very interesting part. Normally क्या होता है इंडिया का करंट अकाउंट में, पार्ट 1 का वीडियो में भी हमने डिस्कस किया था करंट अकाउंट ऑफ द बीओपी. सो करंट अकाउंट ऑफ द बीओपी में दो पार्ट्स होते हैं. वन इज कॉल्ड द ट्रेड इन गुड्स, द अदर वन इज कॉल्ड ट्रेड इन सर्विसेज. So when we have the surplus या deficit only in the goods trade, goods trade का अलग अलग नाम होता है, visible trade या merchandise trade etc. So when goods are exported and goods are imported, we have the question of what we call trade balance. So now normally what happens as far as India is concerned, our goods trade import is more than the export. So regularly we have what we call deficit in the goods trade. That is what we call trade balance. So now for the first time after 18 years, India is going to have a surplus in the goods trade. So don't confuse goods trade ka surplus with current account surplus or BOP surplus. So current account includes goods and services, whereas BOP considers both current account and capital account. Now we are talking about only one small part, and that is also small part of only current account. So the merchandise trade, yeah, visible trade, yeah, goods trade, these are same. So within this goods trade, India is getting a surplus after almost how many years? Answer should be 18 years. So if you see, this has been given in the economic survey ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट भी है क्योंकि बहुत साल के बाद ये ऐसा हुआ है. So possibly there could be a question asked in the prelims. Question number 28. Which of the following is are correct regarding Indian pharmaceutical industry? So if you look at the pharma industry in India, what is its place and where are we? Now this question, क्योंकि ये relevant क्यों है? Because the entire world is now very much concerned with the health sector. So the medicine, the supply, the production, the export, all these are very important. So from that point of view, this question is important for the prelims. So Indian pharmaceutical industry is the third largest in the world in terms of the volume of whatever is produced, etc. Indian pharmaceutical industry is the 14th largest in terms of the value of what is produced. Okay. Now, India almost doubled its share in the export of the world export of pharmaceutical items, say in the last 5 years. Okay. So, which of the following is correct? So, whether only one or only two or only one and two or all of the above. So, if you look at it, the economic survey gives a very interesting some analysis of this. So they are calling it India to be the potential pharmacy of the world. मतलब पूरा दुनिया में इंडिया का जो फार्मेसी का प्रोडक्शन होता है वो सबसे ज्यादा हो सकता है. So now it says many things. So Indian pharmaceutical industry is third largest in the world in terms of volume of production, only behind China and Italy. Okay, they are the number one and two, and 14 largest in terms of value. Now only one thing, question में एक छोटा सा mistake problem किया है. I have given the option of it has doubled in 5 years. Now it is not 5 years. It has taken almost 10 years. Okay. So if you look at the line number 3, it has taken almost a span of 10 years from 2010 we can say to 2019. Okay. So now answer therefore would be, answer is 1 and 2 only correct because it is not 5 years. India has taken almost 10 years to double our exports. Question number 29. Which of the following statements is are correct? India's foreign exchange reserves reached an all-time high of 586.1 billion, okay, on 8th January 2021, and by the end of September, okay, 2020 or 21, India was the largest foreign exchange reserve holder. Okay, so which of the following can be correct? So if you look at it, as per the economic survey, I am just showing you the screenshot. Okay, so the screenshot shows that by 2020-21, okay, that is the January, India had 586 billion, and at the end of September 2020, India is the fifth largest foreign exchange reserves holder among all the countries, only lagging behind China, Japan, Switzerland, and Russia. Okay, so this is a very good news that India has so much of reserve and they are quite safe. So the answer therefore would be both the statements are correct as given in the economic survey. Now economic survey seems to have made some error in the typing error we can say, or printing error, whatever. So if you see the year, whether it's 2020 or 2021, okay, there is a little confusion. If you look at the page 32 of the economic survey volume 2, उसमें दिया है 2020. But if you look at page 114 and also I think page 90, you will find it is given 2021. Okay, now as you are watching this video, maybe you can go to the economic survey and look at these pages and see there is some printing error. But as far as what I feel, it should be relating to 2021. Okay, I mean the first statement basically, because by January 2021 only we could have some kind of a surplus. That's the point. Okay, question number 30. Which of the following statements is are correct? India's rank in the ease of doing business has seen kind of an improvement, say in the last 5 years. In 2019, India's rank was 63. Now, the ease of doing business report is published by the World Bank. So, which of the following statements are correct? Now, this is quite important because the government has been very keen about the improvement of India's rank in the ease of doing business, because to attract foreign investment and for GDP growth, etc. So from that point of view, one has to know certain details about this. In addition, ease of doing business has come in UPSC exam twice. Okay, APSC में अभी तक आया नहीं है, but there is all the possibilities for APSC also to be asked. Now, if you look at the economic survey, it is given, say, last 10-year ka picture, what has happened to the ease of doing business. Now, if you see there from 2009 to 2019, from 2009 to 14, our rank was not that very good, you can say below 130. But 2014 is when BJP comes to power. So therefore, a lot of efforts have been made by the government to improve the rank. So the last 5 years, you can say consistently there is a progress. So from 142 we came to 130, then 100, then 77. Now we have reached up to 63. Therefore, what should be the answer for the question? So the answer will be all the three statements are correct. Therefore, answer would be all of the above. Now, if you refer to the UPSC paper, Purana paper, paper 2019 as well as 2016, you have questions on ease of doing business. So you should know these topics well, and India is making progress because it helps us for our economic reform as well as to attract investment into India. Question number 31. Which of the following statements are correct? India's rank has improved significantly in the trading, that is called across the border, means one country to another country parameter, which is part of the ease of doing business. So India's rank increased from 146 to 68 in 2020. This parameter basically focuses on what? It basically evaluates, means assesses the time as well as the cost associated with the logistical process of exporting and importing. Okay, so which of the following statements are correct? Now, you may not be familiar with all this, but however, economic survey has given a lot of discussion on these topics. इसलिए ये जो topic है, we should be familiar with these topics for exam. So if you look at the answer is both 1 and 2 are correct. Why? Because India has made some progress in the export-import logistics. Question number 32. Which of the following statements are correct? Now we have just discussed about this logistics that India has improved. Now this question is related to that. ये जो logistic performance होता है उसका भी एक index है. So the logistics performance index assesses what? It assesses the relative logistics efficiency of various countries. Now who releases this report? It is released by the World Bank, right? So now the question is whether these two statements are right or wrong. So if you look at the answer, both statements should be right. Okay. Now these are like topics which are part of the ease of doing business itself. Therefore, it is better to know what are these, where India is making progress और इस report को कौन publish करते हैं. ऐसा questions exam में हमेशा पूछा जाता है. So you should be familiar with this topic. Question number 33. Which of the following statements are correct? Bharatmala Pariyojana is the new umbrella program या scheme for the highways development sector. So its vision you can say is to build more than 2 lakh kilometers of roads and highways and greenfield expressways and also bridges with an investment of, huge investment of about $100 billion. So which of the statements are actually correct? So if you look at the progress that government actually has made a lot of investment into infrastructure development and especially the highways and road construction. So if you look at the answer, only one is correct. I purposely put the second one extra 2 lakh kilometer, but as far as what is given in the economic survey, it is only 80,000 kilometer of roads they are planning to invest and construct. Okay. So this year ka budget also, if you see, a huge lot of money is given to the Road Construction Highway Authority of India. Therefore, you should know what is this Bharatmala scheme all about. So the answer would be only one, not both. Next question. Which of the following statements is are correct with regard to another scheme called Sagarmala? So we have Bharatmala, Sagarmala. Now Sagarmala scheme is basically for port development. ये सब टॉपिक आपको काम में आएगा. ये सब टॉपिक आपका इकोनॉमिक्स का जो पेपर होता है जीएस पेपर. Okay, so GS paper 3 you have the economics related topics. So there one topic will be there called infrastructure of India. So all these questions are part of that infrastructure. Therefore, if you want to prepare about the infrastructure topic, you have to know from the prelims point of view, government का budget, new schemes, कितना development हुआ है, okay, or which ministry is implementing what scheme, ये सब याद रखना पड़ेगा. So in that context, I have just tried to put some questions from infrastructure. So if you look at this one, Sagarmala, ये Sagarmala scheme जो है, this is basically for the port development scheme. So it talks about the port modernization, new development, port connectivity, yeah, port linked industrialization, etc. Now, how many projects have been identified? So roughly we have 508 projects and 111 waterways have been declared as the national waterways under this Sagarmala project. So all these are correct. Yes, both the statements are correct. Therefore, these are like facts for you to learn for exam. क्योंकि एग्जाम में ऐसा डिटेल्स कभी कभी पूछा जा सकता है और दे कैन सिंपली आस्क द scheme which of the scheme is there for the port development of India, that is called Sagarmala scheme. Okay, question number 35. The WTO. So this is also part of international institution topic. So the WTO's appellate body is a permanent body intended by the dispute settlement understanding to resolve any kind of appeal on issues of law. It is ordinarily composed of 7 members having a 4-year term with the possibility of one reappointment. Since July 2017, the United States of America has been actually blocking, means stalling, means blocking the appellate body ka appointments on the pretext, means in the excuse that it is not been functioning as per the norms of the dispute settlement understanding DSU. So which of the following statements are correct? Is the US interfering? Right, that is the point. Or this team has got 7 members and 4-year term. So some extra details I have tried to put in this question. So if you look at it, all of them are correct. Because somehow India US trade relations are not that good. They are not great. So there is always a dispute. So India is actually accusing the US of blocking all this. Question number 36. Which of the following statements are correct? The RBI made it mandatory for banks to switch to external benchmark system since December 2018. So banks were actually mandated to link all the new floating rate of personal retail loans, yeah, loans to MSME sector using the external benchmark system, where they have option to link the loan rate with some external rate called repo rate, yeah, 91-day T-bill, yeah, 182-day T-bill, or any other external benchmark rate of interest which is published by the Financial Benchmarks India Private Limited. Third option is under the external benchmark system, interest rates can be reset once in 3 months. Okay, so which of the following statements are correct? So if you know the external benchmark, which I have taught in a class for most of our batches, statement 1 seems to have some problem, correct? So why statement 1 has a problem? Actually, Urjit Patel in December announced that we will switch over to the external benchmark, but it was supposed to be started from 1st April 2019. However, banks did not implement, except only State Bank implemented. Then when the GDP ka results came that India is actually having a slowdown, then the finance minister came down heavily, and then the RBI again sent a circular in September 2019. So from actually October 2019, it was made mandatory and compulsory. Okay, so that is the answer. Therefore the option 1 is wrong. Okay, option 2 and 3 are correct. Now external benchmark system is a new system, it's a kind of a reform by the RBI. Okay, it is part of what we call the monetary policy transmission mechanism. So to understand that, you really have to understand the external benchmark system. So kindly go through the notes. You will also find it in my book, what I have written for the APSC, UPSC. This topic I have discussed quite in detail. However, economic survey में वापस इसके ऊपर discussion हो रहा है. Therefore, I have put this topic again for your multiple choice question. So question number 37. Which of the following statements is are correct? The RBI uses CPI combined for inflation targeting, or headline inflation based on CPI combined was on a downward path from 2014 to 2018, so to say. The RBI has been following dear money policy in general since 2014. So which of the following is correct? Right? Now, why this question is important? For example, you look at the UPSC ka latest question paper 2020 ka. They had asked this question, which of the following is used by the RBI for monetary policy targeting, whether it's a WPI or CPI. So even the UPSC level, they have given only WPI or CPI, but within the CPI, we have got different CPIs, CPI urban, rural, combined, etc. So which one the RBI actually follows? The RBI actually follows the CPI combined, and that also the RBI keeps a track of headline, not the core inflation, but rather headline inflation. So which of the options could be correct here? The options could be correct only 1 or 2. Why? Option 3 is wrong, because option 3 talks about dear money policy. What do you mean by dear money policy? Dear money policy is to make the money supply less by making money or loan expensive. How? By increasing the rate of interest, namely repo rate, bank rate, etc. So if RBI increases the rate of interest, then money means loan becomes expensive, then automatically money supply reduces, right? So the question is whether the RBI has been following this kind of a policy since 2014. Answer is no, because after 2014 the RBI actually started following cheap money policy, where the RBI consistently reduced SLR. CRR was more or less steady. They did not reduce much, except during the COVID time they reduced. But bank rate, repo rate, reverse repo, MSF, that is a marginal standing facility, all these have been reduced by the RBI. So we can say RBI actually been following what we call cheap money policy, yeah, expansionary monetary policy. Therefore option 3 is wrong. Okay. Question number 38. Which of the following statements is are correct? The Labour Bureau has revised the base year of CPI IW series from the earlier 2001 to the latest 2016. The new series of CPI IW covers the industrial workers from 7 different sectors. The new CPI IW covers about 463 items. Now, if you are not familiar with the CPI IW, definitely you will not know the answer. But however, this is the new change done, okay, by the Labour Bureau. Definitely there is a possibility ऐसा question exam में आ सकता है, and also it is given in the economic survey. So what will be the correct answer? So for that you need to understand. So if you see, the old base year is 2001, new base year is 2016. Earlier they covered 25 states, union territories, now they are covering 28. Earlier they covered 78 centers, now they are covering 88. Earlier the markets covered were 289, now 317. The population, okay, we can leave it out, but the number of items earlier was 392, now it is 463. So this is actually published by the economic survey, okay, not the Labour Bureau, but the economic survey has given all this comparison. So definitely this kind of question आपको exam में prelims में आ सकता है. So the answer is all of the 7, sorry, all of the above, because all the statements are correct. Now I have given there 7 sectors. What are the 7 sectors? I have given there below in the notes. So the 7 sectors you should be familiar, okay. Even exam may they can ask you which of the following 7 sectors are included in the CPI IW. Okay, that means for UPSC level that can come, but APSC may not be that much of a detail. APSC के लिए at least you should know the base year, number of items covered, etc. Question 39. Which of the following regulates drug prices in India? Again, this question is important. Why? Because the COVID-19 pandemic all over the world, there's a problem with the drug shortage or the vaccine shortage or the medical facility problems, right? So in this context, we need to know who is the authority that regulates, supervises this pricing of drugs, etc. So I have given four options here: National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, या Pricing Board, या Pricing Council, या Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. In general, you can say, if you want to say like that. So the answer to be the point is, it is actually regulated by National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority. Okay, so this actually works under the Department of Pharmaceutical. Okay, so I have given some details here basically for your extra information, because now health sector is becoming very important in all over the world, you can say, not only India. So questions based on health sector, okay, can be part of the preliminary exam, even mains exam. So you need to have some idea about this part. Question number 40. Which of the following statements are correct? The government is implementing faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid electric vehicle in India, which is in short actually called FAME India scheme. So it is going on since 1st April 2015. Is it right or not? Option 2. The government has notified phase 2 of the same scheme in 2019, okay, which is for a period of about 3 years starting with 1st April 2019 with a budget support of 10,000 crore. Now in this second phase, the government tries to create more and more demand by way of supporting 7,000 electric buses, 5 lakh electric three-wheelers, and 55,000 electric four-wheeler, that is the passenger car, and 10 lakh electric two-wheelers, etc. So which of the three statements is correct or which is wrong? So if you look at this, all of them are correct. Basically, I wanted to share the information with you because this scheme is again important. Why? ये जो टॉपिक है इसको आप कैसे एनालाइज कर सकते हैं? We have to look at this topic from the background of national energy policy. So the national energy policy, we are trying to reduce the import of what? Of petroleum crude, natural gas, and coal. So as a result, what the government is trying now is to switch over to the electric vehicles rather than vehicles run by petrol, diesel, etc. So the electric vehicles are now becoming popular. Government is encouraging. Also the GST on the electric vehicles, etc. has been reduced. Also, as a policy in general for the national energy policy, government is now shifting more towards the use of electricity, even for the normal consumption, like instead of using coal, etc., for industrial purpose, for housing, lighting, etc. So electricity is the main compartment, or what you call the main thrust of the government. So now, when we are looking at the national energy policy, you have to connect these kind of topics with the national energy policy so that you know why this topic is important, why the electric vehicles are important, and why the scheme called FAME India is also important. ऐसा वाला question can be definitely asked in the prelims and even in the mains. Okay, so the background you should keep in mind, that is the national energy policy. So question number 41. Which of the following statements are correct? International Solar Alliance, which is an important topic again, has recently launched two new initiatives. One is the World Solar Bank, and the second one is One Sun, One World, and One Grid initiative. So the One Sun, One World, One Grid vision was actually laid down by the Prime Minister of India at the very first assembly of the International Solar Alliance. Is it right or wrong? So the answer would be both are right. Now this has been highlighted in the economic survey. Therefore, I think this topic is important for exam as well, because this International Solar Alliance, it is popular. So अगर आपको इसके बारे में पता नहीं है तो you can find out, Google it, search it, study it and become familiar with this topic. Question number 42. Which of the following statements is are correct? National Animal Disease Control Program targets foot and mouth disease and brucellosis. So now the point is, what are the targets of these two programs? So it ensures like 100% vaccination of cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat and pig for the foot and mouth disease, and also maybe vaccination for the bovine female calves, the smaller ones, of which are 4 to 8 months against the brucellosis. Now the point is, are the statements all correct or is it partly wrong? So if you look at the government cup program, all of these are correct. Okay, this has been again highlighted in the economic survey under the topic of agriculture and horticulture and animal husbandry, etc. Now, animal husbandry is part of your syllabus in UPSC. So it is given as a new topic. This is called livestock economics. Yeah, economics of livestock, yeah, animal rearing. Okay, that is the actual topic. So this is a new syllabus for those who are now used to the old APSC ka syllabus. So when you are looking at the UPSC syllabus, this topic is part of your exam. So you need to know more about this livestock, cattle, animal rearing, etc. and various schemes and programs of the government. So that is the context in which you should study this topic. Topic number 43. Which of the following statements is are correct? The share of agriculture and allied sectors in the GVA, that is the gross value added of the country, has been on the decline, say in the last 10 years or even 20 years, you can say. It has declined from 18.2% in 2014-15 to 17.8% in 2019-20. What do you say? So that is the question. Now this kind of question APSC में आया था भी. So if you look at the APSC, I think 2016 में question आया था, what is the contribution of agriculture to India का GDP? So you need to know what is the share of agriculture industry service in the GVA. Now we very much talk about the GVA and the share of different sectors in the GVA. So if you look at this one, economic survey gives this table. So this table basically they are talking about the share of agriculture and allied. Allied means what? Allied refers to mining, fishery, forestry, various aspects of that. So now what is their contribution? If you look at the very first column, this one, so 2014-15 we had 18.2, then 17.7, then it became 18, then 17.1, now it has come to 17.8. So if you look at the contribution of agriculture to India ka GDP, after independence in the 50s and 1960s, we had contributed about 55% roughly. Now it has come to below 20. So we can say even in the last 70 years, the share of agriculture in India's GDP has reduced, and now in the GVA it has actually come to quite low, roughly below 20. That also to be precise, you can say around 18%. Okay, so this kind of figures are necessary क्योंकि आपका मेंस में भी एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है व्हाट इज द ट्रेंड of the share of different sectors in the economy. So it is called the composition and the structure of the share of the different sectors, how this composition the structure has changed over the years. Like these questions have come in the past, so you need to know this kind of a trend to understand and answer those type of questions. Question, so the answer 43 would be both are correct, both the statements 1 and 2 are correct. So let's move on to question number 44. In 2020, within the manufacturing sector, so we are not talking about the entire economy, only the manufacturing sector, which among the following received the highest FDI equity as given in the economic survey? So for this question, again, let's look at the economic survey. So the economic survey gives a pie diagram of various units within the manufacturing sector. उनका FDI equity कितना मिला था? So if you see, this is the largest, but this is the others, means all others put together. So individually, if you find automobile, okay, sector has got the maximum FDI equity flow. Therefore, the answer would be the automobile. However, you need to be familiar with this kind of questions. Even in the APSC ka various exams, recently also they asked about the FDI, which sector receives the maximum. Okay. So question number 45. Which of the following statements is are correct? India is the second largest producer of crude steel. India is the second largest consumer of steel. Which one is correct? One or two or both? Yeah, nothing. So answer would be both. So India is the second largest producer of crude steel and also the second largest consumer of steel. Okay, this is given in the economic survey and it's a very interesting information that has been provided. Question number 46. Which of the following statements is are correct? In a major initiative by the government on 9th May 2020, the government of India launched what we call Champions online platform to help the MSME sector in India. So what does the Champion stand for? Champions for creation and harmonious application and modern processes for increasing the output and the national strength. So very long name which has been shortened as Champions. Now it is an ICT based technology system aimed at making smaller MSME units big by solving their problems, etc. And this platform actually is kind of a single window solution for various needs of the MSME. Is it all correct? So the answer would be yes, all of these are correct. Now MSME sector is a very important topic for exam. ठीक है, आप प्रीलिम्स के लिए प्रिपेयर करो या मेंस के लिए प्रिपेयर करो, MSME के ऊपर जरूर कुछ ना कुछ क्वेश्चन आने वाला है, क्योंकि MSME is the backbone of India's economy in terms of employment, in terms of development, in terms of even their share in exports. Okay. So the government has done a lot of things during the COVID-19, even before. Okay. And government also has got the Vision 2024 to have a more and more MSMEs in India as what you call the startup business. Okay. So this kind of all topics are related to MSME. So MSME topic necessary है और एग्जाम में जरूर आने का all possibilities भी है. So you have to study the MSME topic very well. So now one more question I put on MSME because I think it is important. Now what is the definition of MSME, which the government did it during the COVID time? 2-3 times they try to modify and change, etc. So now what is the definition of MSME? MSME in the past were defined on the basis of investment in plant and machinery and equipment or equipment. Now recent definition, MSMEs are defined in terms of their investment and annual turnover. And in the new definition, we can say there is no distinction between services and manufacturing. So which of the following is correct? So for that, let's look at this. So if you look at it, MSMEs are now defined on the basis of both investment as well as annual turnover. And if you see here, it is the same classification for both manufacturing as well as services, right? So this is given by the economic survey. Earlier also it was published by the Ministry of MSME. Okay. However, since it has once again come in the economic survey, this is important for you to understand how the MSME definition has come about. So what will be the answer? The answer will be all of the above are correct. Okay. So the definition has been modified actually to benefit and boost the MSME sector. Number 48. Which of the following statements is are correct? So in the context of what we call textile and apparel industry sector in India, it is the second largest employment generator in the country only after agriculture. A major part of this workforce is women and they play a vital role. Therefore, this kind of a textile apparel industry is empowering women and also developing Indian society. What do you say? Agree, disagree? So both are correct according to the economic survey. So remember this, which is the second largest sector providing employment generation in the country according to economic survey? It is the textile and apparel industry. So the first where the largest employment generated is agriculture, and it provides employment to women. So that's what economic survey says, and it empowers the women and the development of the country. Question number 49. Which of the following statements is are correct? India is the sixth largest exporter of the same textile and apparel products, and China, Germany, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Italy are ahead of India, means including our neighbor Bangladesh and China. So which of the following statements is are correct? So both are correct according to the economic survey. India is the sixth largest exporter of this textile and apparel products, and we are actually fifth, we can say, or yeah, sixth, because what we call China, Germany, they are all ahead of us. Okay, so now textile industry therefore seems to have a lot of potential for India to progress. So the government has got a separate ministry, okay, for textile. So now a lot of schemes are also implemented in the textile development. So definitely you can think this question both either in terms of what we call the employment generation or in terms of what is the rank of India. Question number 50. Which of the following statements is are correct? India has 63.86 lakh kilometers of rural urban roads and also national and state highways. India is next only to China, which has got a road network of 66.45 lakh kilometers. So India has got 63. We can say China is having 66. So is it right or wrong? So this is very tricky. So the answer is second is wrong, because India has got 63, but it is not China. It is the United States of America, the USA, which has got the 66.45 lakh kilometer of road network, whatever. So based on this, we can say like India is the second. Okay. So now this is all related to infrastructure. So if you look at the economic survey, part 1 and part 2 we have discussed. Economic survey has covered a lot of topics, from agriculture to national income to price level to development to infrastructure to various indexes. Okay, so now what happened in exam, your topics are going to be a wide range. So you are not going to get economics, therefore is a syllabus which is very dynamic syllabus. तो टॉपिक बहुत सारे होते हैं एंड स्मॉलर स्मॉलर टॉपिक्स होते हैं, और उसमें ज़्यादा फैक्ट्स या स्टैटिस्टिक्स या नेम्स ये भी याद रखना बहुत ज़रूर है. Okay, so I try to provide some 50 important questions, and also I try to highlight what topics. Okay, more than the question, it is the topic. So which are the topics which are more important, concepts which are more important to study. Okay, so any question that you see, you must find out इस question का पीछे मतलब इस question के topic क्या है. So try to understand the topic in general, then you can solve the questions particularly. So आपको एक बार topic समझ में आ गया, then going for exam will be very easy and very simple. Okay, so we have tried to study 50 questions and relating to 50 topics. So now if you want to ask for any further information or any query or anything study material you require, you can contact Badra IAS Academy on this number, or you can send email and get in touch with the people in the office. So these are our shining stars of 2018 APSC ka results. We have 58 results, and we hope to have more results in future. So study well. In the next video, I am going to discuss about the economic survey, but from the mains point of view. अभी तक हमने जो कुछ किया है पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2, दैट इज फॉर प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम. तो इकोनॉमिक सर्वे से मेंस के लिए क्या क्वेश्चन आता है और मेंस के लिए इसको कैसा प्रिपेयर करना है, क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, दैट आई विल डिस्कस इन अनदर 2 or 3 videos, and then we will try to analyze the economic survey for mains. So till then, you solve the questions once again and try to read more on the same topics. So wish you all the best and see you for the mains analysis of economic survey.